Back with another Savage stream. Thanks everyone for tuning in and liking my videos, commenting on my videos, sharing my videos, and subscribing to my channel. You guys are freaking awesome. I don't care what Hash Raptor has to say about you. Speaking of Hash Raptor, let's go and be sure to subscribe to his channel. He's got some freaking awesome content over there. Be sure to go over there and give him a sub, all that cool stuff. He's got some great stuff. He's got a super jealous of his shed that he's got going on over there. Plus he adds some comical stuff in there as well. You got to watch this video right here. It's really good. All right, so makes me laugh. All right, check that one out as well. In this video, though, in my video, we are going to go over how to issue and manage a security token offering, STO, on the Ravencoin network utilizing the restricted assets and tags capability of the Ravencoin network. And this is something that we are going to apply to our PocketChangeXD business that we are tokenizing on the Ravencoin Testnet, and that is basically what we are going to do. And I'm going to use it tonight as a way to describe how you could issue a security token offering an STO on Ravencoin. And let me just go over, let me pull this over here, hang on a second. Let's see here, let's do this. All right, so we started this little thing where we were tokenizing PocketChangeXD on the Ravencoin network, and this was basically our structure that we had come up with so far. And you've got the main asset there, PocketChangeXD, right there in the middle, and then you had all these little sub assets or departments, however you want to look at it, that we were going to work with. We've got a little distance on those, or we've got a little progress on those. On the NFT side, we did do some NFT content on Ravencoin and how to issue an NFT, non-fungible token, and all that cool stuff. So check out those videos. I'll show you that once I get back into the wallet. But for now, we'll just press on. If you look over there to the left, there's an external KYC, know your customer. And that's going to be like an external business that we would use to offload or outsource our KYC for our security token. So we are trying to stay compliant. That's the whole goal here. Now all this is just fictional, right? We're not actually doing this. I mean, we are actually doing it, but it's on testnet, and we're just kind of goofing around, showing how this would work in the real world, or showing how it could work in the real world, which I think is important for folks to understand what Ravencoin is all about. And this is one of the things that it can do. So we're going to outsource our KYC with external KYC. That's the company name. And then we're going to use the EXT KYC tag. We're going to create that tonight. Hopefully I can get through all this in 30 minutes. We'll see. But that is basically our structure. And then like an example of how the KYC AML would flow. You know, you've got a person over here that wants to invest in PocketChangeXD. That's their Ravencoin address there, and they submit all the required documents to that external KYC company, which is basically going to be able to issue the EXT KYC tag to that Ravencoin address on the left over there, this one right here. So this guy right here. So basically I meant to add another arrow, you know, basically coming back over here. So this EXT KYC tag right here, that is the qualifier asset on the Ravencoin network. Qualifier means tag. It's the same thing. I hope I'm getting that right. I'm pretty sure I'm getting that right. Qualifier is the tag, and then you got the restricted asset, which is what you want to actually issue. And in this case, you're going to tag this address so that it can actually accept our restricted asset that we're going to create, which is our security token offering. I know it's kind of confusing. It kind of gets crazy. There's a lot of terminology, but you'll kind of, hopefully we'll all kind of understand it more by the time this is over with. We did this before with SerpentX it was a long process, you know, going through all the different stages. But this is a different application. We were doing like a subscription service under whenever I was working with Serpent X on this. We did like an example subscription service to like a VIP service for cars, automobiles and stuff. It was pretty cool. This is actually for a security token offering. So we're going to focus on that in this case. So yeah, just think that, you know, just realize that this tag here is going to go and be tagged to this address so that it can receive our restricted asset tokens. All right, that is all I have for the actual little presentation here. Let me pull this back over here. All right, I'm going to check the chat because the other night I had my music on. I think it's all good now. I think I had my music way too loud at the beginning of that stream last night. I think it should be good now though. I do have background music. It should be quite low. Some people, you know, complain about the music. Some people like the music, so I have to kind of get it. I have to get that happy medium in there. So let's talk about Raven first real quick. You know, basically, if you're not familiar, Ravencoin is a peer-to-peer blockchain handling the efficient creation and transfer of assets from one party to another. It's been their focus since the beginning, and this is something that this particular capability with the STOs, I believe it was in 2019 that they enabled this capability, early 2019, and or at least started working on it and got it implemented pretty quick. And basically, you were able to issue an STO on Ravencoin way back then. So we were hoping that 2020 was going to be the year of STOs. I guess it kind of was, but there were some other things that kind of took precedence. You know, you had DeFi, you know, blowing up, and then of course NFTs, all that stuff. So yeah, which, you know, Raven also supports NFTs as well. So that's one of those things. So what is an STO, and how does it actually solve a compliant issuance? So whenever you are issuing tokens or issuing basically ownership shares, so to speak, of a company, you know, you have to comply with, in the US anyway, you have to comply with US securities acts and rules and laws and all that stuff. And that's the focus of a STO, because they are compliant with the current laws. And that's basically, a lot of it has to do with KYC, AML. Mostly, KYC is know your customer, AML, anti-money laundering. So you want to keep the bad guys out from using the service as a way to launder money. And you also have to know your customer if you are accepting investors' money to, you know, perform work and hopefully be profitable in the future. So whenever you have that situation in the US, you have to KYC. The token holders have to be known for like the proper management, and that's in accordance with securities laws. Now, the Ravencoin network allows for external identity validation for use by the regulators or entities involved in the STO process through intermediaries like, you know, such as KYC companies that work together, possibly even using transitivity, basically one KYC company talking to another KYC company and validating someone's identity. Basically, it's like a business-to-business trust that they have. And they do this through the use of the tags on the Ravencoin addresses. And again, we're going to get to all this. These tags manage how a company's assets can be distributed, who can hold what assets. All this is done without actually disclosing any private information. If the address holds the tag, or is a tagged address that company is a qualifier for, then they can, you know, send the asset to that tagged address, the restricted asset. So you can have confidence about a user's identity without actually validating it internally. So you can outsource it, have someone else do it, or you could do all this internally as well. But, you know, there are benefits and drawbacks to that. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. So I'll come back to this in a minute. I want to talk about the STO tokens and assets. They have to be tracked on the chain, so they end up only in the qualified addresses, the tagged addresses. And this is all in accordance with the Bank Secrecy Act of 1970, which is known as the BSA. And it was this act was further amplified in Title III of the Patriot Act back in 2001. The BSA it's also known as the Currency and Foreign Transactions Reporting Act, and that's basically a U.S. law that requires all these financial institutions in the U.S. basically to work with government agencies in detecting like money laundering and stuff like that. That is in a sense what this is all about as far as the BSA goes. So just think of the BSA as the law that governs, the AML and KYC aspects of securities. And also, it's I mentioned this a minute ago. It's also pretty important to know that you don't have to actually do the KYC internally. It's not really necessary for each company to do their own independent or internal KYC, AML. It can be outsourced. Some of the benefits would be cost savings. It could be cheaper to do it by outsourcing. You would have some time savings. You don't have to dedicate someone or a department inside of your business to actually perform the KYC AML. There's some quality assurance benefits, analytics. The outside company can analyze their data a lot better than possibly you could, or in addition to other companies that they're working with through transitivity, they could do that as well. So there are some benefits. There are some drawbacks. And the drawbacks, people might remember this, but this was from a couple of years ago, I think, 2019. Basically, the drawback would be third-party trust. Binance went through this thing where they had outsourced their KYC data, and that company supposedly got hacked. I don't even know the actual end result of this, but they were basically, holding. What's that word? What's the word that they were trying to do here? They were trying to, not extort, but they were, what's that called? I'm so stupid. I know it's in this article right here. I'm looking for it. It's so hard to come up with words, man. Yeah, I forget. Anyway, they were trying to, I would say extort, but that's not the right word. They were hold. All right, let me check the chat, see if y'all are coming up with the word. What's up, Pocket Change? What's up, Tech Man? Crypto Mikkel? What is up, everybody? Dogelord? What's up? Well, I'm trying to think of this word. It's like hostage, not hostage. Anyway, they blackmail. That's the word. That's it. They were trying to blackmail. Let me highlight that. They were trying to blackmail Binance by making it look like they had hacked their KYC data, but it turns out it's possible that it wasn't. I don't know the end result of this, but I think that they were just being blackmailed, and it was a possible leak, but maybe not. It's kind of like one of those iffy things. I didn't do a lot of research on this. I just wanted to explain that there are some drawbacks to outsourcing your KYC, right? So just keep that in mind. Yeah, blackmail. That's the word I was looking for. So it's better for a person's PII to be centralized in like a single location protected by encryption than for it to be decentralized. The more we talk about this sometimes, you hear about it in the crypto community with your private information, and if you sign up to an exchange, you might have to KYC. Well, guess what? Now you KYC with that company, with that exchange, and if they do it internally, then they have your private information. Then, as a crypto trader, if you are a crypto trader, then you go to another exchange and you KYC with them, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. Now you got 5 separate companies that all have your PII data, your private, personally identifiable information. Okay, your passport, your driver's license number, your address, your phone number, your email addresses, all that stuff. They all each individually have it, and it's basically decentralized, right? So your data is just out there on all these different locations. And what that you can, hopefully you can see that there's a problem with that, because the more of your information that's out there, the more likely it could be hacked or leaked or whatever. So, you know, we have ways of preventing that, or we have solutions for that, you know, and Ravencoin has this built into their system. So, you know, this will allow like audits of personally identifiable information without transferring or duplicating the PII data from one company to another, because you can validate the person's identity, or realize that the person's identity has been validated already, KYC'd, AML'd, because of the tag, if that makes sense. So it's kind of cool thing to do here. So let's get into it. Let's see what we can come up with here. I'm gonna close all these articles here. I'm gonna leave this one open because we are going to kind of maybe reference this a little bit from time to time. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. All right, so now let's look at our wallet here. This is a testnet Raven. I do not have 2.8 million Raven. Okay, this is testnet. This is not real money, not real Raven, testnet Raven. But I was going to show you the NFT. I mentioned NFTs earlier. We created NFTs, so if you go back through my videos on my channel here, you'll see one that's Ravencoin NFTs, and that's where we talked about all these right here that we created. You know, for example, the PocketChangeXD logo is an NFT. So that's one aspect of what we were doing to try to exercise every aspect of the Ravencoin capabilities, the Ravencoin network capabilities. That was just one thing that we did. Tonight we're going to be creating, first we're going to be working with restricted assets. We don't have any right now. Actually, yeah, these are all from before. So this is that serpent exercise that we did, playing around with that. So just ignore that over there. It's not applicable to what we're doing tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. We want to start with a qualifier or the tag asset. And I'm going to learn with you guys, because I did not go through this tonight before the stream or anything like this. There's no prep here. Okay, so let me learn with you. All right, we need to create a qualifier or AKA the tag asset. And remember from our little presentation, that's going to be EXT KYC is the name of it. I think I closed the, oh, here we go. So if we go back over here, let me show you this real quick again. So we're going to create this tag right here. Okay, that's what we're looking at doing, creating that tag right there. All right, so that's where we're going to start. So we're going to go to create assets. And then we already have a main asset. You do have to have a main asset to create a restricted asset, but I'm not sure about the qualifier asset. I would imagine you probably have to have a main asset. I don't know for sure, but we're going to go and click on qualifier asset, and it does cost 1,000 Raven. That means 1,000 Raven is burned whenever you create this asset. So right now, let's head over here, see how much USD value that is. So it's $182 USD value to create this asset if you were doing this in real life, okay? So, or on the mainnet. The name of the asset you would like to create, that is our asset tag name, which was going to be EXT KYC for external KYC. So it's going to look like that. It has to start with the hash symbol or the pound sign there. You see, because that identifies this as a tag. And you can see right here that it is not reissuable. Tags are not reissuable. You cannot send them or recreate it. Once it's done, that's it. So you have to plan this out very precisely. You can see that you can't choose the value or the number of units because it's just a tag, okay? It is an asset on the Ravencoin network though. All right. And then what we're going to do, because we have this agreement with this external KYC company, and that agreement looks like this. So it's a document, or it can be a document. So we've got this document right here, PDF, that is basically saying, you know, like, we're going to work with external KYC. PocketChangeXD is going to work with that company to provide the KYC functions, or the KYC requirements of the STO. And here's all their information down here. And this is the tag that they're going to be able to control. At least I think that's the way that this is going to work. So we will see. So I do have some other information down here, address and all that stuff. We'll come back to this. But what we want to do is we want to include this official document in IPFS, Interplanetary File System, so that we can attach it to this qualifier asset. So this is basically a way of adding a document permanently on the blockchain to this qualifier asset, to this tag. So this can help identify what this actually is. If someone's looking at this on the Ravencoin network, they can look at the IPFS data, or the file, and see what it's all about. Okay. And you know, you could make the document say whatever you wanted to, but in this case, I just made it basically, wow, what is this thing doing? I made it, where did it go? Okay. Yeah, I just made it real generic, super generic, just to give you an idea of what it could be. All right, so I am going to go to IPFS. I've got the IPFS client. If you're not familiar with IPFS, it's Interplanetary File System, peer-to-peer file sharing. Basically, is the easiest way to explain it. The files on IPFS are referenced by a hash, so that you can see this QMC, QM, it always starts with QM down here. And that's a, I'll never remember this name. It's content identification, I believe, is CID. And that is what you use in the Ravencoin wallet to reference that particular file. So first, the first thing we have to do is get the file up into IPFS on the peer-to-peer interplanetary file system. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag the PDF, the agreement, the external KYC agreement over here to my IPFS client. So now you can see that it's here, and it does have a QM hash here. So what we'll do is we will right click on that, copy the CID, and we'll go ahead and pin it to. It does take a little while. This thing's a little quirky. You know, it's peer-to-peer, and it relies on a lot of other, you know, talking to other nodes and stuff. I have let this run, so I thought that maybe it would be a little bit faster, but anyway, so I'll just let that go. But I should be able to paste in the QM number. Yep, so there it is. That's the hash, the digest of the file that we uploaded to IPFS. Now we have to, it's already green over here, but before this create asset is able to be clicked, okay, this is a little bit confusing. It doesn't like lead you in the right direction. You have to check availability, okay? So once you click that, you can see here it says valid asset, and then now we can actually create the asset. So let's go ahead and do that. You can see right here, 1,000 is going to be sent to that address, which is the burn address, okay? And then one tag, because we only created one. Yeah, actually, you know what? We could have created more. Let me cancel this, because I think we need to do two, because we want to be able to. Hopefully, I think the way that this is going to work is we're going to be able to allow that other company to issue our tag. So the external company. This will be for internal, and then we can send. I think the way that this will work is we can send one to another company. So let's do it that way. All right, so 1,000, and then 2 are going to go to that address, which is my address. Not my address, but PocketChangeXD, I believe, is what that address is. We'll see. It's probably yeah, I'll have to check. But so we're going to go yes there. So 1,000 gets burned. to create that. And there we go. So now if we go over here to overview, we're going to have to wait on some, definitely going to have to wait on some replication, not replication, but validation or confirmations and all that, I would imagine. All right, yeah, this is from before, so ignore that. That was a year ago. All right, so we're gonna wait on that a little bit, but while we're waiting, we can kind of press on with this thing. And again, we already have the main asset, so we don't have to go through that. And we created that. If you look back through the videos, we created that a while back. So now we want to actually create, that was the tag. So now we actually want to create the actual restricted assets. These are the STO tokens, basically, is the way to look at it. So we're going to go to create assets again. Then we are going, now this one for sure, you can't create a restricted asset without a main asset. It's underneath of the main asset. So the restricted asset burns 1,500. So that is, what does that come out to? 250 bucks, something like that, right now, if you're looking at USD value. So the asset that we want to create it under is PocketChangeXD. And you can see right here, the name is going to start with a $sign. So that is your restricted asset. Restricted assets always start with a $sign. So if you were in a trivia contest for Ravencoin, that would be the answer. What type of asset starts with a $sign? That would be restricted asset. All right, and then the address, the Raven address that will hold this asset, and then you must own that address. And then what we need right here is the, I believe that right here is where we're going to need the tag address. The one that holds, I think that's the way this works. So I think what we'll have to do, let me go back over here to transactions. I think we need this address right here. I'm going to copy that address. That is our tag address, right? Go back to restrict, go back to create, throw this in there, see if this is going to work. All right, verifier string. I think I'm doing this right. Does this look right? Has anybody else created this before? Again, I didn't do any prep. So, I mean, I did a little bit of research, but I didn't prep. So hopefully I'm doing this right. It looks like it's going to let me, so that's good. The verifier string built from the qualifier names. Interesting. So you could leave it blank, but what we want to do is actually say that this asset right here, the restricted asset, can only go to addresses that hold the, what was it, EXT KYC, right? All right, so what, all right, that kind of makes sense. This address doesn't contain the correct tags to pass the verifier string check. All right, cool. All right, we might get tripped up here. Let's see. I'll figure it out. Give me a second here. It might be, you know what? I think that we just have to wait on, the confirmation. Okay, so now it's got check marks. So maybe now it will work. Let's see. Okay, so that doesn't contain the correct. So, I wonder if I have to. Okay. All right, totally getting confused here. Again, this is This is one of those reasons. This is why they need better like layer 2 stuff, like to interact with this type of stuff. They do have Mango Farms assets. That's a pretty good interface, like web-based and stuff, but we really need like a modern interface here. So working in the wallet like this is a little bit difficult. I mean, it is telling me that it doesn't contain the correct tags, so I'm thinking that this address is not what I need. I think what I need is, or I'm forgetting something here. Maybe I need to, Okay, so there's our tag. All right, so it is in there. So what I need to do is I need to, again though, we might just need to be waiting on confirmations, but I think that this is what we have to do. So we're assigning the qualifier, which is the tag, to the address so that it can hold, because we need to create a restricted asset. I think that this is right. Let's check. Okay, so now we're going to submit the qualifier request. All right, sounds good. Let's see how bad we can mess this up. All right, so that looks good. I know I'm going like way over the time here, but we will be able to pick this up tomorrow night too. All right, so now if we go to create assets, there we go. Okay, so now I pasted in that address of the tag again right here, and now it looks like it's going to accept that because I gave it that qualifier. I assigned the qualifier, the tag to the address itself. So now let's see here. I think, let me see if I have a document for this too. Yeah, the establishment. So I've got the PocketChangeXD STO establishment document. This is a PDF also that we're going to put in IPFS. I think that this is going to be right. That's not what I want. So I'm going to upload that document to IPFS also. So STO establishment. So I'm going to copy that CID over here like that. Okay, should be good. Valid asset, everything's good. And then create. So again, 1500 Raven. Oh, and I'm gonna cancel this. We need to create more than just one. Okay, so 10. All right, so 10 is the maximum. Wait a minute. I've totally messed this up, I think. Let me think about this for a minute here. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to review this a little bit more because I am not following. I don't think I'm doing this right. I think I've got this kind of backwards as far as this address goes. Let's see here. Let's do this. This should be easy, but I'm making it difficult. Okay, so there's our tag asset. So that's good. Once some confirmations go through, there'll be everything will start showing up in here again. All right, I'm gonna check the chat. See who's yelling at me over here. Yeah, definitely. This is definitely testnet. I I would not be doing this on mainnet for sure. Yeah, this is part of the this is the part that sucks whenever you're doing it live, because you have to wait on the blockchain confirmations and stuff for things to start going the right way, and I can't cut it because it's live, right? Is there, I don't know if anybody else was going live after me. I don't see anything coming up. So I got some time, I guess. We're just gonna wait on these confirmations. Just have to wait a little bit. I still kind of think I messed up that process a little bit though. And I'm going to implement, once we get this sorted out, I'll be able to go over here to the Mango Farms wallet. And this is our company here. This is their wallet. So I'll be able to work with this and do the tags and all that stuff, kind of like we did with the Serpent scenario as well. Again, testnet. Not real Raven, guys. Not real Raven. All right, let's see here. Things are starting to show back up. All right, so that's probably not going to come up. Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. So that IPFS, all I did was I clicked on it. It's kind of cool that they've implemented that. So all I'm doing is I'm clicking on the actual asset, and then right from the wallet it pushes you out to IPFS and shows you the IPFS data that's associated with that particular asset, which is really cool. You can send that one, you can send that one. So what I could do is, yeah, I'm gonna have to get some do a little bit more research on this and make sure I'm using this the right way. I might actually have it right, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to keep going. I know that this one, see, I can't reissue that. This is the restricted asset. This is the tag. I thought that I would be able to I'll play around with this, because I think I should be able to do way more, because whenever I was creating this one, it only let me do 10. I don't know, maybe I'm not, yeah, I'm probably just not understanding exactly how to do this. Oh well. I'll research some more and clear it up tomorrow night. This happens sometimes. I thought I had it, but you know, it's late. Oh man. All right, let me check the chat, see what you guys are up to. And how are y'all getting GPUs? How are y'all getting GPUs? Good grief. Y'all are lucky. All right. Yeah, let me clear this up in my mind so I can explain it properly, because right now it's all foggy. I probably confused everybody, and I probably didn't do it right. So I'll clear it up and make sure that it's understood. The thing is that the cool thing is that there's a lot of different use cases, right? This is just one. I'm trying to implement just one. Me and Serpent did a whole thing about the whole VIP, you know, experience, service, subscription service, and stuff like that. It worked out pretty well. We were going back and forth, sending assets and doing the whole tagging thing. It's been a year since I've done this, so that's why I'm a little rusty. So I'll figure it out. And then tomorrow, we will talk about it more. Yeah, I'm going to do more STO tomorrow. I got to figure this out. I got to get this clear in my mind so I can tell you guys what it is. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you tomorrow night. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. If you thought that this was useful, I know I didn't clear it up that much, but I will. Give me a little bit more time with it. But if you thought that this was useful or entertaining or whatever, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow night, same time, 9:30. I will see you there with some clearer definitions of restricted assets and how to implement them. All right, guys. Stay savage, everybody.